Let's try to customize our graph elements to make the graph prettier or clearer. We can customize how our graph looks like with different graph elements, including graph title, axes labels, legends, and etc. So in this section, we will cover as many graph elements as possible. So you might have noticed that this frequency polygon that we've graphed earlier is not that pretty. So on top of that, the legend label isn't even right, and the x-axis is not even labeled correctly. So let's try to fix that now. So as we've identified earlier, we need to change the x-axis, and we also need to change the title of our legend. So to do that, we will need this function right here, called labs. And it is as simple as this. We want to change the x-axis, so we would need to write x equals blood pressure with the unit of the blood pressure in quotation marks like so. And then we want the legend title to be the type of blood pressure. So we need to write color equals type of blood pressure, again in quotation marks. Note that we will need to use the argument color equal when we are trying to change the title of our legend. We can customize our graph even more by changing the text fonts, emphasis, or even size by nesting multiple arguments in a function called theme. So now let's work to customize our graph in part 3, the graph earlier. And recall that the graph looks like this right now. Now we can change the axis labels, the legend title, and add a graph title using labs. And we're going to change the x-axis and the y-axis labels, as well as the title of our legend. And then after that, we can use theme to change the font, the emphasis, and the size and the color of our text. So here we have a lot of arguments and a lot of functions. We have plot title to customize the big title on top. We have the axis title to customize the title of the axis or the axis labels. We have the axis text to customize the little numbers here on the grid. And the legend title is this text right here, and the legend text is this text down here. So then we also have element text that lets us nest family, which would then code for the font of our text. And face is to let us know whether we want the text bold or italicized or underlined. And size is just the size of the text, and color is the color of the text. And right here is a detailed function debunked section where we go through the function theme. And this is again also hyperlinked as well, so you can feel free to click on it and explore the other arguments on your own. Alright, now that we have our plots, let's save them. So to make everything easier, let's save this whole plot, so this whole code chunk here, and it's the same one that we wrote above. Let's save it into a variable, and then name it final_plot. And then all we have to do now is use ggsafe like so. So by default, ggsafe will save the very last plot that we ran before it. But we can also tell it exactly which plot we are referring to by using another argument after this file name right here. So just to confirm, this first argument here is written in quotation marks, and this is going to be the name of our file. And we can also change the width and the height of our saved file. Just remember to specify the units. And right here is the link with more information on ggsafe. Alright, now that we have our plots saved, let's also check our working directory to make sure that the plots are there. Alright, it looks like they're there. Fantastic. But it looks like there's also an extra PNG file that we don't want. And it's this one right here with a weird name. And if there are any files that we don't want to be in our file directory, We can also use this function right here, file.remove, and then the name of the file that we want to be removed in quotation marks. And now if we check our directory again, the file should be gone. Congratulations for finishing yet another tutorial! So by the end of this tutorial, you should be somewhat familiar with the ggplot package, including how to create a basic graph on R, as well as how to customize it to your own liking. If you're interested in learning more about ggplot, this website is a good resource for you to tap into. And here is also a cheat sheet with more ggplot functions that you can check out. Good luck!